Activists are also doing their part to mark the solemn occasion of Floyd's passing here in the Coastal Bend.
3 News reporter Mariah Gallegos joins us live with why they are joining the National Chorus for Police Reform. Good morning, Mariah.
Good morning, Barbie and John Thomas. Talks over police reform are nothing new. However, South Texas activists I spoke with say Floyd's unfortunate death has them joining the call for change and police departments to reevaluate protocols.
I watched the video really truthfully only twice. It does stir up some emotion inside.
The disturbing video.
The first thing comes to mind, like you said, is the video. But I would say in the video, when he called for his mother.
Captured the last moments of George Floyd's death on camera in Minneapolis.
People are protesting with one message in mind, and that's Black Lives Matter.
Local activists like Tina Butler plan to take a moment today to remember not only Floyd, but all lives lost at the hands of police.
Why is it that the skin color makes a big difference, in treatment? When we're all human.
Butler says 1 year later, she hopes the Coastal Bend sees the images of Floyd and remembers all the reform that needs to be considered.
Individuals from all ethnic backgrounds, community leaders, and just not here locally, but globally, just come together just for the cause of humanity, for life, for the purpose of life. And specifically for life for Black men that were being killed.
Local NAACP President Jeremy Coleman agrees, saying despite seeing people come together over the last year in solidarity, the conversation must continue along with meaningful action.
It's so important that everyone understand this is not a one-day event. This is forever life changing.
Coleman says one of the biggest elements moving forward needs to start with our youth.
I believe the embedded problem of racism, the embedded problem of discrimination is a learned behavior.
Coleman and the local chapter are preparing to revitalize a youth program to have the necessary conversations and ensure they understand the reality of our world.
Want to eliminate not only racism, but we also want to build a better future a year from tomorrow after his anniversary to say, okay, in 2 years, we have made progress in building a stronger community, a network of activists who really understand the importance of, the importance that every life does truly matter.
Later this morning, all chapters of the NAACP will be honoring the anniversary of George Floyd by taking a moment of silence. The local NAACP chapter is asking you to join them in remembering Floyd today. There's information there on your screen on how you can join in their live video or simply take the moment of silence on your own. Barbie, John Thomas.